Today in part 4 of our HL scale railroad kits Dannen feeds build, we complete final assembly, weathering, show you how to weather a tar paper roof right now. Okay, the glazing in our door and our windows has dried, so we'll give you a close-up view of those. And the door. So now we can continue on to the next step. Okay, the next step is to glue in our windows and our door. We'll use tacky glue and a toothpick to apply the glue to the window openings and the windows, and also the door jamb. We'll show you how to do this one, and then we'll do the others off camera, and then we'll be back with the results. Okay, let's get started. So, like we did with the trim pieces, we want to put some glue on our toothpick. And we want to let's go from the back. Alright, and then we want to take one of our windows and put some glue around the edges of the window. Actually, I think we'll just rely on the glue in the windows. So we want to make sure that the window sash is facing downward. Then we gently press it into place. Okay, and then we will make sure it's in the back. So we'll zoom out here so we can get a close up. And then that should do the trick. So we'll do the rest of these, and well, we'll do them off camera, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our door jamb and all of our windows installed into the wall sections. Next, we're going to glue the doors into the door jamb right here. And we'll probably use bonding for that. Okay, so we've got the door in place, and now we're going to tack it into place at the corners with bonding. Alright, here we go. Okay, so now we will press down in the corners. Make sure it's in there good. And now we'll put a bead around the inside, around the inside edges. Okay, now we'll show you the door installed in place. Let me zoom out here so I can focus. Okay, the next step is to assemble all the walls. To do this, we'll be using the square grid on our cutting mat, as well as our thin beam square. Okay, we're going to be using our tacky glue and a toothpick to apply tacky glue. We'll apply it to the trim piece right here and then butt up our wall against the trim piece. Okay, we've got everything nice and square, and the edge where the trim is looks good, so now we just have to let that dry before we glue the other two wall pieces together. Okay, so we got the other two walls squared up and plumbed up, so now we need to let those dry. Okay, now that both sets of walls have dried, we can join them in holy matrimony. Okay, now that everything is joined in holy matrimony, we actually put a rubber band around it while it dries. The rubber band, believe it or not, actually holds things square while it dries. I can't remember where I picked up the rubber band tip, but I strongly urge you to give it a try. It helped me a lot, and I'm sure it will help you. Now we're going to glue in the second floor wall. The second floor wall gets glued in between this trim piece and this trim piece. So to do that, we're going to use our tacky glue and toothpick. So we'll glue that in, and then we'll get right back to you. So now we'll let this dry, and then we'll continue with the next step once it's dry. Okay, next the instructions say to cut out the roof pieces. This is a small roof piece, and this is a big roof piece. And the big roof piece, it says to score at the line to bend it to fit the roof. So we'll cut those out, and then we'll be right back. So while we wait for the structure to dry in the jig, we're going to paint the edges of the roof and the underside of the roof where it overhangs. We're going to paint these barn red to match the rest of the building. Okay, now we have the sides and the bottom of our roof pieces painted to match the color of the building. We're going to move on to the tar paper roof. We've painted the top of the tar paper roof with grimy black. So we're going to flip it over and mark out for the strips. Tar paper roofing is normally about 3 feet wide. So we'll mark every 3/8 inches going down the paper, and then we'll mark it on both sides, and then we'll cut it into strips. As you can see, we've made our marks on either side of the construction paper on the back side. So now what we'll do is take our hobby knife and cut them along this way. So we'll do that and then we'll be right back. Okay, now we've got all our strips for our tarpaper roofing cut. Okay, so now we'll take our roof pieces and determine how many pieces of the tarpaper roofing we'll need. Okay, so it looks like we'll need 7 pieces of the tarpaper roofing. 2 for either side of the big roof, 1 for a ridge cap, and 2 for the small roof. Okay, we'll start with the small roof and we'll apply our tarpaper roofing strips to it. To glue the roofing strips to the roof, we're going to use Elmer's glue wall. Now we'll start by applying a couple beads or lines of the Elmer's glue wall to the roof piece. We're using it full strength. Then we're going to thin it out with our fingers to give a nice even coat. Next, we'll apply the big roof, this one right here, to our structure. Okay, to attach the roof, we're going to use full strength Elmer's glue wall on the peaked roof edges. So we'll apply it with a Q-tip. Spread it out evenly. we'll apply our roof. Making sure that the overhang is equal on either side, and then we'll hold it in place. Until the glue starts to set up. Okay, so next we'll put some rubber bands around the building at the roof to hold the roof in place while it dries. Okay, so next we're going to glue our small roof. Put glue here and here, and then we'll glue it on. Okay, now we've got our roof glued in place. As you can see, there's places where when aligning the tarpaper roof, we expose some of the wood. So to cover this up, we're going to use a very fine detail brush and some black paint and make it look like tar lines. We'll apply these tar lines to the entire roof, both the small and the big roof. Okay, now that the tar lines have dried, we're going to apply a coat of pewter gray by dry brushing it onto the roof. Now that we have dry brushed the pewter gray onto the roof, we're going to blend it all together using our Monroe models, soot black, and rusty brown weathering powder. So to apply our powders, we're using a small weathering powder brush from our weathering powder brush set. I've said before and I'll say it again, a little of this weathering powder goes a long way. So now let's apply our weathering powder. We'll get some on our brush. Tap most of it off, and then we'll apply it to the roof. Okay, now you can go back in to what you dabbed off and get that on the brush and use that to apply Okay, so now we'll do the back side of the roof. And you want to go in downward strokes to simulate the effects of the rain washing over the building or washing over the roof. Now that we've got the black soot weathering powders applied to the roof, we'll give you a close-up shot. Alright, here we go with our close-up shot. In combination with the dry brushing of the pewter gray, we think this gives a really good look. So now we're going to use some of our Monroe Models Rusty Brown weathering powder. We'll apply it mainly to the sides and the ends of the roof panels where the rain would collect. Alright, let's go. Same as with the black, we take our rust powder and we dab most of it off, and we go along the sides. Remember, brush downwards so that it simulates the effect of the rain washing over the roof. And then we want to along the edge. and especially down here. And then we'll work this in. And we'll give a very light coating over the entire rest of the roof. You want this to be a very subtle effect so it doesn't overpower the soot black that we applied earlier. Right, so let's do the other side of the roof. So now we're just blending it all in. And then we'll go to the other side and finish blending that all in. Alright, there we have it. So we'll give you a close-up and then we'll weather the rest of the building with the weathering powders. Okay, here is our close-up. Might not show up very well on camera, but it is there. Okay, so now we'll apply the weathering powders to the rest of the building, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we've got our soot black applied. So we're going to apply the rusty brown towards the bottom of the building and right below the roof. The bottom of the building will represent splash up from the rain hitting the ground, and the top, below the top of the roof, will represent runoff of rainwater. We'll also streak the rusty brown from the door and window openings, or the edges of the windows and doors, to represent rainwater running down from the windows and doors. Okay, so now we'll give you a close-up of the weathering with the rusty brown. I'm not sure how well it will show up on camera. But we're going to show you anyway. This completes our HO scale Railroad Kits Dannen feeds build. Stay tuned to the end of this video for a slideshow of pictures of this completed Dannen feeds HO scale Railroad Kits wooden structure kit. And now it's time for the Featured Friday Channel of the Week. The Featured Friday Channel of the Week is Kathy Millat. Kathy lives in the UK. She has many how-to videos on everything from scenery to building dioramas. She does excellent work, so I highly encourage you to go check out her channel, watch her videos, and subscribe.